Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we will do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. So the FOMC meeting took it to the downside overall and respected that bearish fib level we had back here and then some. We were talking about that 236, if you recall, last time just before we said goodbye on the live, and it chopped around on this 236 level. Let me just clean up everything really quick here. So we had this impulse to the downside and the retrace during the live, and this 236 level we chopped around up just above it here, and we did it a second time right up in that region there for a bounce off of that 1382 level. But for the most part, this was during the FOMC right here. They took it all up to the 236 just above, and we were talking about that idea to the group. We were saying this timestamp right around the FOMC 3:37 a.m. right here, we're like, if this holds, it's going to go to the downside, and boom, it dropped like a rock to the downside. So that was massive. We took some of these bounces to the upside here in the trades, trading room. We did not catch the downside one, but we caught this little pump off the cloud to the upside here, stopped in profit, and then I was like, you know what, I had a good day today, I'm not going to risk it, and that's where I said goodbye for the night. But I should have gone into a little short as it faded on that 236. But we're overall very good day for the day. We're basically positive. I think there was one stop off stream, but four for four on the stream yesterday, so that was a good day all things considered. Let's see how things are going today. So it looks like we're taking it all the way to the downside here beneath the 15K region. I'm just going to remove some of this little bit of happiness here to our last session. We're just chilling. We're not in a rush to get anywhere. We're just kind of seeing what's up. Let me go ahead and log into the chat, see how everyone is doing. Boop, 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 boop. Hey CNC, how's it going? Okay, so it looks like we're sweeping below these levels from August 28th and possibly coming into some sort of regions here. We're just going to go and kind of do some little levels here. I'm not going to get into what these things are. I'm not going to be kind of like seeing what's going on here, but there's one idea for you in this pool here. Let's just see. I'll just give you a clue. There is an indicator that will do this for you, but you know, fractal break, imbalance, fair value gap, liquidity voids. So you can do that on your own, but yeah, I'm just doing it for myself here. And then you have a BPR down here. This is the low. And we're just beneath it, so whatever bounce is sustaining this, we could be drawing into this region. I don't know. We're going to remove that trend-based fib. I thought that was funny. It's a pretty massive drop that was right there. It's crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and throw this on real quick. Heads up display on. What is this craziness of color? Link in the description for more, momentummaster.info. Scroll down to features. You can see how this looks. Most prominently, the baselines and the trend cloud are what we're looking at. Yeah, alongside some stochastic oversold regions. Just getting straight pounded though, the trend dot, trend dot, trend dot. And if we go to our Renko, it's just holding the super trend entry, just straight downside. 32 bars just ripping off the 200 here, 200 SMA on the 32, just straight downside since that time of the FOMC at that top we were talking about. Congrats if you took that short. All right, let's go look at the ATOS real quick. Let me make sure we're on. Huh? Wait, what? All right. ATOS. How's everyone doing out there tonight? Prehab, what's up? Thank you for the support as always, my man. Hope all is well. Booyah. Let's go see where the, the juiciness lies in the footprints. Footprint time. Actually, we're gonna disconnect Rhythmic on here so we can get a live feed of this. I'm not going to be rushing into any trades anyway, so let me go ahead and hide this really quick. Disconnect the Rhythmic account. It's disconnected, so then we can go into the ATOS now and connect up Rhythmic. You can connect any Rhythmic with ATOS and you can trade off of it. And you can the beauty of the ATOS thing is you can connect multiple Rhythmic. So if you have an elite trader funding or Top Step or something, you can connect this plus Bulinox and link them up to a single trade. We'll get there eventually, but not trying to overly complicate things just yet. So down here you had 534 contracts and 411 contracts bought here at the 14,949 region. So there was a huge buy order entering that was possibly shorts cashing out, saying that's good for me for now. But that was a good little cluster. And on the ATOS thing, I have this indicator on here. If you're looking at this, there's a link for it in the description. You can go to your indicators and add a cluster search and change the value of the cluster search. I have it showing 200 contracts, but yeah, it'll just show you where these clusters of contracts enter. So we just had about 215 sell side stopped there, so whatever buys entered up here got stopped, and or shorts triggered for a fuel continuation idea. And this is also on this hourly. So the hourly will show you where all these clusters get stopped, and there's a lot of buyers. You probably can't see the blue, but there's a lot of blue inside these candles as we are going down here. There it goes. So on the hourly, that was 2,000 contracts down at that 1949 region. Interesting. All right. I need to watch a few tutorials about this in more detail over the weekend, because it kept me out of a few like longer term shorts or longs that banged, that were temporary because of it was ultimately inducing longs for a deeper leg down. But knowing what that is insinuating, I still need to study this more. So overall in the session delta, we're negative 3K, which means we're imbalanced to sell side. So they've been pounding the sells, which means that they're stopping out a bunch of longs and or a bunch of shorts are entering in profit. And so a rotation to reconcile that 3,000 could occur. Now, on Friday, we took it to the downside and we were positive 7K. Positive 7K the entire way down from 17 what's it called, that entire drop on Friday. Like, let's go back to Friday real quick. I'll just preface that. So Friday was back here at the top. We had a nuke that appeared on Momentum Master, and it basically took a dump to the downside here and consolidated, and it was positive 7K. So they induced 7K more in buy side, and then now we took it a second leg down. So this is technically just like a big A, B, C to the downside here, and you're outside the cloud on the 4 hour. So it looks like you did wick down to that fair value gap that we put out just about an hour ago. We're not quite there yet. So basically retracing into some of this, where's the inefficiency gap zone in here? There's one right there. And once again, fair value gap indicator here, fractal breaking imbalance. If I turn this on, it's going to show it, see? But you get an eye for them over time. There's another one up here. It's not that difficult to see how they operate. So you could come to these little bits of happiness here. We're trying to get above the trend dots. The cross-up event on the 4 minute was now holding. So now we're getting locked into a framework here. We got both sides kind of lined up nicely. Just watching, observing. We got about 15 minutes till the open. Be good, Daniel. How about yourself? I'm good. Tired though. Thursday's like kind of my hump day for the week for my work, so got over that. And so we got back into this dark zone on the 4-minute. As we reclaim possibly the underbelly of the dragon here, which went to the Leviathan, went to gobble up the sell side. Kind of looks like a dragon, doesn't it? It's very cool. So you had this little dip up above, like, and then here would have been a good entry because we didn't ever come back above it, and you just barely caught your breath of fresh air above these adaptive moving average slash channel average, and then back down below. That was during the London silver bullet, most likely, yeah. And let's start to go. We got a money bag, and that money bag was the contracts we were talking about. See hidden bullish reversions on the money bags, but you've been seeing, and you're seeing that overall kind of narrative of that occurring. If we zoom in on that, you see oscillators, the money flow getting above the RSI, expressing a slight fatigue across that. Just stopping in to drop a like. I got some stuff to attend to. All right, cool. Hopefully, yeah, I saw that something about the like client buying some cheap parts. Hope it works itself out. Keep your head up if they're kind of like a rude person or something. Got to deal with them in life, unfortunately. The money bag here on the 4-minute was nice, a nice little idea. The money bags I'm learning to trust more and more. This money bag though did not, into the dump here, did not play out. Let's go ahead and see. Got to be at a key level too. It's not just random. Like normally you'll notice I have a line on my chart that happens to be in sync with that. Let's go see the ATOS one more time. I'd like it to stay this color even if I'm not zoomed in so detailed. Like it goes to light blue too soon, like as it gets smaller here, like that. It's weird. I can still see it, but I don't know if you guys can see it. It does highlight it when I have the cluster stuff. So there's a bunch of cells here. It's kind of sparse, so they're going to like fill the order book up in this region because it gapped down beneath it. And yeah, we are approaching the open in about 13 minutes. And the VIX, we were talking about the VIX. My dad was raving about the VIX. He's like, watch the VIX, son, watch the VIX, watch the VIX. VIX is being suppressed, it's being manipulated. The VIX, the VIX, the VIX. And the VIX, you know, wanting to go up. It's like it's been at low time. We had the rocket ships on the VIX. My dad has access to the indicator, obviously being my dad and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. Last Friday, as the Nasdaq had the nukes, you had the rocket ships on the VIX also starting to play out. You had another rocket ship over here on the VIX, and the volatility came, of course, boom, and then consolidated and boomed up again. I still am new to the whole, like, what the VIX correlation is, but I know it's basically like a fear and greed thing, and the more greed it goes down, and then now people getting into fear as risk off becomes the thing. As the dollar goes up, dollar broke above that fair value gap, retested it as support, coming to the next region up here at 105.882, perhaps, meaning other risk off assets, everything will be risk off if the dollar goes up. And yeah, NQ goes down some more, perhaps. Gotta keep an open mind for whatever comes in. Boom, that suppression. Everything's getting mighty tight on these baselines. Definitely keeps going when it's like that. You can keep going and going and going till it reaches a cross down threshold. There's your nukes that were appearing on Friday in the Asian session. Boom. Maybe we'll see a rocket ship or two today down in these regions if we get in here into the nitty-gritty. The fact that this didn't even bounce at all is like super insinuating it wants down in this region. What do I know though? What do I know? Minutes. Hey, what's up, APV? Thanks for stopping in. Shout out to everybody here. We're going, just looking at these trend dots, getting rejected, getting rejected, getting rejected, just constant rejection. Are we going to get re-enter into this for a possible sweep to these fair value gaps and a retest of this 236 after this impulse shallow retrace dump for a continuation down into these regions and fair value gaps below? I don't know. Midweek reversal, so it could be inducing the trap to both sides and then reach their target wherever that may be. Friday could come even lower for the run for profit. We were talking about the positive contract imbalance on the TOS last Friday as it was dropping the entire time. Here we have a session delta of negative, so there's more sells being triggered as we go down. So the market objectives from that first A wave down on Friday, inducing 7K of buy side as everyone thought they were buying the lows, and then it consolidated and then did the C wave down, essentially this thing. It essentially did this, like positive, it induced the buy side, retraced up, and now it's attacking the sell side of these buys that bought in here. So you could come back into this candle a little bit more. You kind of got down into it, but didn't wick completely. Who knows? Eight minutes. Let's start getting split screened up. cloud is very thin here on the 1 minute, suggesting the volume of the buyers is weak, but it is holding every bounce off it. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Still getting a lot of buyers here. We've seen that before where they get the buyers and then they just rip some more to the downside. There's in this hour a lot of buyers in this region. Let's just change it to a 4-hour chart real quick. Let's just see if that makes it easier to see all the contracts. There we go. So down in the bottoms here, you had a bunch of sells and you got a huge abnormal amount of buys down at 14,949, 2K buy side, and another 500 each down at 49 and 49.25 and 49.50. Getting some sells entering here as people peel off and or enter shorts. It burst up above the bubbles, meeting at the cloud. Hit the adaptive on the 1 minute here. Technically, we broke the bearish super trend on the 1 minute. If we get out of this really quick and just show how long that's been holding, it's been holding since basically the London drop up here. So the fact that we closed out candles and broke it could be making some sort of sweep to stop out some buy side before they come a little bit lower, perhaps. The angle here is quite nice on this 4 minute right now. The cloud. Getting that money bag a second time here. Green dots now appearing, first time in a while. Momentum on your side for upside, obviously, as it's going up. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Here we go. Nitty-gritty. So you flipped the 30-second cloud, you came back up, came beneath the dark band and then came back in, and now you're starting to kind of trend back up. Still not showing extreme bullishness, it's overall trending up now. You can see this on the 1 minute dots above the channel, holding the cloud continually. And this is why I'll never need to use a parallel channel again, because it will automatically do that for me with these calculations. It's quite nice. Cloud's still shifting up here. Let's go back to our toss. We got 3 minutes, technically 2 minutes now until we open. Is the audio all right before we start? We had a good day yesterday, so we're gonna be a little bit more cautious, even though we should be keeping the same rhythm. I just know from experience to, you know, keep your peripheral vision clear when you're euphoric and also when you're in fear. And there's no pressure too, so 1 minute. So it's just slowly drifting into the buy side, the pre-market buy side. "26 seconds. Let's go look at the Renkos real quick one last time before we start. So the Renkos 8 bar coming back above the 50 SMA, starting to come up into these pools. Could come up to that 1500 kiss on the 200, which should be the 50 on the 16 bar. Did have a shift, might have a pullback retest. Looks like we are. Getting the first money stacks in a while on the 30-second. Held that adaptive, so that was a really nice idea for, that was just a short pivot to that upside. You just came to that fair value gap, cleared it at 1506. Look at a toss really quick. So that sell side just got 1,000 contracts knocked out there. The imbalance rather became 1,000 buy side, so it became from -3 to -2. Now drifting higher. Audio good? Nice. Back to the 200 on the 8 bar. Settlement line is up at 152. Do you make it all the way up to that for the open area settlement for the day? This fair value gap at 1506 Let's go see what that's eating into right now. Yeah, the 4-hour one is not as informational, so I'm going to go back to the hourly here. Juxtaposing what happened in 1 hour to the current one is good. Technically having it in the 15-minute was more my cup of tea here, because I could see within that 15-minute what type of sell side is being hit. Okay, so getting a bunch of sell side here. We're back in the negative 3K with that drop down right there. So whatever buy side peeled off from the shorts or induced in the longs, they immediately reclaimed or used for fuel if those are shorts entering there. There's 2,000, there was 11,839 trades within that 2-minute candle there. That's a lot of trades. 10,000 in that next 2 minutes. Crazy. Just in those 2 minutes alone. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Had this bearish divergence on the money flow from back here. Interesting. So sometimes I miss these things, so having it repainted for me, it like trains my eye, like, oh, okay, I wasn't looking at that, but that's true. Went back to the 1 minute adaptive level and bounced off it. Could be drawing up to that next fair value gap at 26. The VWAP is up here at 32. Hidden bullish right there on the money flow. You had from here, higher low, lower low. Played out already. Gonna mark off the start of the hour here. Bouncing off of that. Does it look any different if I do this? Let me see, hold on. You're getting some bearish divergence here on the RSI, the multiple time frame one. cloud's still holding though. 1 minute cloud is pretty mighty thick here at this angle. Let's go see what they're doing here. $309 stopped out there. I'm going to start disconnecting this real quick. Let's see, disconnect, connect. We'll just have to update it every moment it happens. So the fact that it's above those 309 contracts means that it could be going to get buy side some more off of those guys. Just chopping up both sides right now. On the ATOS you have basically like 10,000, 11,000, 7,000, 8,000, 4,000 trades in each of those 2 minute candles each. So there's just a huge amount of traders entering both sides. Just a huge battle taking place, a swarm of fish fighting for food. So the ambiguity here, the cloud holding, but the baseline's crossing down on you as the light side of the cloud starts to come back into the dark potentially. Holding the super trend on the 30-second ever first hit there was pretty nice, which happened to be this cloud, the adaptive on the 1 minute. You're getting money stacks flying away, flying away, flying away, and possibly abating. Now it's abating. We're going to put the ATOS away for now so we can focus. You're back to the 50 SMA on the Renko. We'll take this, just see what it does, because it gave us a burst. It did. First trade of the night, I took that small burst, didn't hesitate, into profit. Took 2 contracts off there. I was seeing that sell side, that 300 contract, they stayed above it. That was, oh crap, I didn't connect up the I didn't connect up the other ones. Are they linked up? The Apex are linked, but there's no Bulenox linked, but it's all good. Gonna stop out the other 2 at break even. And there you go. That is what it is. Let's make sure that Bulenox are now linked up. Okay. Just chopping up around on this cloud here. Took that bounce off the cloud for whatever it was worth there. Just trying to get wet the whistle a little bit. Wet the whistle. Breaking down at the cloud here, potentially at the angle here, not looking the healthiest on the 30-second here. Do not enter, saying watch out longs. That's why it's quick. Got to use the ATM strategy. And it could be an inversion play to drop lower. Not going to play it. Ideally, if you were thinking about shorting a region like a fair value gap, you'd be looking for it as it started to come back in here, not down at the bottom to get there. But the curvature on the 1 minute also starting to curve in a manner here, insinuating a possible end to this. Could be refueling off of an order block. Oops. Off the adaptive again. Baseline suppressing price here as this curvature of the cloud wanes. Is this a bearish retest to continue further down? Looks like you're getting it. Let's go see what's getting stopped out here. Minute candle closes soon. Back at 484 beneath the value area low. Coming back to super trend. Also the adaptive on the 1 minute. Ripping beneath it. Money stacks flying away, momentum to the downside. That's why the ambiguity of like having a cross down event and the cloud thick bounce, like playing along there when your things are not in alignment. Getting it aligned is where you get that nice play there. Alignment. Technically the thinning here is an alignment too, because you're getting this thickness waning. It's giving the insinuation of that downside. Bounce off of the adaptive here on the 1 minute, still holding that super trend level. Is it an Undertaker play? Bearish retest of the cloud. Attempt number 2. Oh, still gonna hit us out. Looks like it's gonna rev down. That's a bearish retest. Yep. Should have taken the short there, not the long. Not a good idea. Looks like it's ABCing down. It's gonna hit me out there. So that thinning of the cloud and that bearish retest kiss. Bearish retest kiss of the cloud. Money stacks flying away. I'm going to size down on that actually. Let's see. Moving from 4 pack to a 3 pack with a, what is it, 33? All right, so it's minimized to $70 boss. Now you're creating this other channel of a trending downside, basically downwards channel, trade, breaking that super trend level. Now the cloud is shifting purple, heading lower here. Saying not to go long, saying do not long is the do not enter. The angle of this is suggesting a bearish overtone to occur. The thinning cloud is what we're talking about here. Back in the sell side, negative imbalance to 3K. So the pre-market, or the open, came up, spiked up, gave the impression of bullishness, chopped around it, head and shoulders, came back down, slowly bearishly retest the cloud, and then came down for now to come to this 939 potential fair value gap on a higher time frame. Rejection off of the adaptive here for that last bounce up. So you had like one potential short, second potential short off of the rejection of those, and the cross down of the channel average and the adaptive. Shout out to everyone here. Appreciate everyone that's watching. Let's go see how the inversion play is looking. So you got this super trend SMA, like basically double bottoming here at that level. 32 bar is bearish, and you're coming to a region here at that fair value gap region. For that double bottom, but also potentially ripping down into that fair value gap below. Still not seeing divergence, and we're not in that oversold region just yet. Cloud angle insinuation was from back here, really, before we broke down. Shout out if you were shorting. We're back at that external range fair value gap just below the lows. Does it accelerate here or bounce? No interest generated. That's the top of it. The bottom of that's the top of this is the fair value gap range. The bottom of the fair value gap is really down here. So it's technically this entire range is a fair value gap. We came up to the first one and hit that and wicked around in that range of between the two, and then now we're coming back to this one. Getting a lot of buys here. That means it could just keep accelerating down. I don't like seeing buys at bottoms. It just means fuel for the continuation idea for downside if you're looking to long. But I've been wrong before, but could see a bounce just to trap them into their idea. How many trades are in Des? You got 2,000, 5,000, 5,000, 4,000, so you're getting less trades down in this level here. Money stack, stack, stack. Kind of C level oversold here at that fair value gap. The underbelly of the dragon right now as it dips back below. We saw some scales appear as it shifted its direction. The underbelly of the dragon. Cloud shifting purple now. 1 minute also shifting, beginning to shift. Getting a lot of buys here, generating buys, 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 buys. 1,000 contracts bought in there. I will not buy with the majority. I want to see red for sells for a long idea, not buys generally. Could be completely wrong here, but I don't care. Getting the momentum, a green dot potentially. Money stack, money stack, money stack, money stack. Getting a rejection off the bubbles, trend bubbles here for the downside idea. If you cannot hold that, then you could be just inducing those buys that are expecting this one first fair value gap level to hold. I'd like a complete recovery if possible, like another leg down. Money flow above the RSI suggesting the same, that it's going to come back and dip it Dip it. It's funny, like I love narrating it and it happens. I mean, I don't always have to like play it, if that makes sense. As long as it goes the way I'm saying, I'm happy with that. It's kind of weird. All right, getting a 1 minute potential cross up. The hourly closes in 50 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Rejection of the bubbles, that insinuating more dragon belly downside. Dragon belly downside. Another ABC inducement, and that's why I don't want to be with that. That's what the ATOS keeps me out. Like, I see all that blue, I'm like, no thanks, I'm not gonna join on the bandwagon for that. No way. I want to see them stopped out. I want to see a bunch of red, and then I'll be like, maybe I'll long here. Okay, now we're starting to get some red. Get them to DCA and give them some, you know, hopium, and then just take it lower. All right, now the hourly is open. Hourly switched. Algorithm in motion. Processing orders, processing, assessing liquidity. Which direction do we head first? Downside. Downside looks to be the target. We have some sell side below. Shall we go down to go up? Assessing. For the past few days, it did take a few minutes to process the direction. It didn't just immediately do that. Other days it's been like, okay, immediate, go, you know, on the hourly. All right, so you got some sell side off that new 15-minute coming in. Some more. I'd like to see more, please. All right, there you go. A little bit of a downside thing, flying away. Money stacks flying away, flying away, flying away. We came back to recover this fair value gap now. You had hidden bearish divergence from back here on the money flow. The money stack flew away and stopped, and that's when you should have assessed a long if you were in one. We were telling you there was no buy there because of all the buy orders. No thank you. The cloud insinuation to the downside with the bearish retest kiss at that thinning point couldn't be more accurate if we tried, and then I didn't take it. The indicator is more accurate than I am, but it's basically, it's pretty cool if I do say so myself. All right, so you got the flying away stack starting to fade here. We're coming back to a bearish idea down at the 910, the bearish trend base fib at 910 from the impulse retrace to the downside. But you could wick off of this fair value gap. In all honesty, you're starting to make a bullish divergence of a slight nature here off the fair value gap. I could test it. Let's see. How does it look? I'll take it. Could be wrong, but it's a very small little baby play to get confidence and ticks back on my side. Fair value gap recovery bounce, perhaps. No money stacks just yet. We did have the cross-up event inducement and then came back down for a liquidity grab. We haven't gotten back into bubbles, so I'm not secure on the idea yet here. Get back into bubbles and then I'll be a little bit more resting easy. There you go. And then that just peeled off 2 contracts. Stop into profit, knocked me out. Boom. All right, so we lowered a little bit of that damage to that one play until we can limit the damage down some more. I will not size back up again. Cross-up event is confirmed on the 1 minute. Not seeing conviction to enter that trend cloud though, so we took that for like 20 ticks and we were out. Money bag here on the 30-second. Can you get that bounce here? Can we do it again? Let me see real quick. Hesitation. Should have just pulled the trigger, but oh well. That money bag. I shouldn't have hesitated on the money bag. Why are you hesitating on the money bag, boy? That's money flow divergence, son. Cross-up event on the 1 minute. Rejection off the average happens to be the trend dot on the 1 minute. It's essentially chopping around. I missed that nice entry, but that money bag, man. Green dot. That was a nice little surge off the green dot right there. I was hesitating yet again. What you doing, boy? Why you hesitating? Nice cross-up event play there on the 1 minute / money bag divergence there. And now we're up to 58. Nice little bounce there. Not gonna take it. Too late for me. It's too late for me. Save yourselves. That was a nice entry right there. Hopefully somebody took it off the fair value gap. That fair value gap play, we played it really tight and then we got stopped out and we didn't enter a second time here. But that 92475, we had that level pre-market for you. And boom. Bounce out. Bounce out off the money bag. Money stack, 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 stack. Wait for the stack to abate or to come back beneath the trend dot here. If it's a real trend, it'll just continue ripping. Did anyone take that? No? Yes? No? Maybe so? Beep. Back to the adaptive on the 1 minute / the sloping downward cloud, so you could get a little bit of a place to just take profits or just watch it bounce back off a trend dot or something. What do I know? What do I know, huh? I know nothing. I did for 22 points. Nice. What do you think of these clouds? You like them? They're pretty cool. I found something that's kind of fractal in nature to complement this cloud, I think. Generally, when you break above the cloud, though, you do pull back, and then you possibly continue if you see this thinning cloud down here. So coming down to this region to stop out some of the overzealous mini players perhaps might be in order if there were some that entered. If they didn't enter, then they'll be like, oh, then I guess we get to just rip it. But let's see, let me do a retracement here. Equilibrium would take you down to there. Pocket would take you down to that cloud. Looks like they're just ripping it. I guess there were too many skittish longs perhaps, or they all got stopped out here and then nobody re-entered. Congrats if you have a runner. You're reclaiming the 1 minute cloud here. The money bag, not to be ignored. Do not ignore it, especially if you've already had some shenanigans of fake outs. Boom. In this hour of trading, it's not to be ignored. Like, there's fake outs before this, but volume is not as prevalent, so I don't trade those hours anyway, so I don't know what it's doing. And all of this could be a fake out. Remember the end of this, you have the bearish trend base 236 up at 1539. If it rejects up here, or the 27 level, like let's just say it rips up to here, like you could just, you could just you know, come up to here and then poop the bed down below as well. All right, so the cloud is shifting here on the 32nd. You got this thinning, so the thickness will turn and then they come back and kiss it at some point. Meeting with some sort of resistance on the 1 minute adaptive moving average here. The curvature of the 1 minute cloud is looking interesting. For the trend to continue. Trend dots. Booyah. All right, so just chilling right now. I should have not kept the tighter stop loss. I should have done the wider one and observed, but didn't want to take it in the face if it was wrong. So coming back off the adaptive on the 1 minute, coming back to the cloud potential kiss idea. If it comes back into this region, I will be looking at it a little bit more closely and see how it reacts there. The cloud happens to be the 0.66 region. Sometimes it goes beneath the 618, and that's what the 0.65 and the 0.66, this purple zone. Or you could get a deep retrace down into the fair value gap consolidation down here. And this is your typical break the cloud, come back and retest your shift, pullback, and continuation idea. Cross down of the baselines on the 32nd confirmed. Reaching the outskirts of the cloud, getting a little bit of reaction off the super trend. Money flying away, flying away, flying away. When does this abate? Does it abate? Cloud angle on the 1 minute shifting downward, so not giving this insinuation anymore. Going to delete it. We'll come back to it. at the super trend on the 30-second, which also happens to coincide. Wait. We're just below the equilibrium. So there's these equilibrium players. Are we going to get an equilibrium bounce? I'd rather see it go down to the 618 or the 706 personally, because the impatient ones will be playing this, and then maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You're also meeting with resistance here if you can get above it though. Yep, resistance. Break. And this is why I have these different profiles, so I can quickly switch from the equilibrium negation down to the golden pocket, back to the golden pocket idea. Came to the cloud, which had a trend dot, and it just immediately bounced. That flashed the trend dot off the cloud almost immediately. Whoa. What was that about? Holding the super trend. Went all the way to 47 and just spiked up to 61 like that. We're at the super trend 1 and 2 on the 16 bar, just beneath the 50 on the 8 bar on the Renko. We could be getting this inversion of rejection lower. The 32 is bearish, getting a bounce off the cloud on the 1 minute. Well, you reclaimed the adaptive and the super trend quite nicely. Just dipped just below the 0.5. Is it creating an inducement? A false hope? Money stacks 1 stack, but not 2. The stack abating. We're just going to remove that. We already have the idea in mind. Don't need it there. That was a nice little cloud bounce out from 47 up. Whip. Meeting with rejection on the 200 on the 8 bar, 50 on the 16. So it essentially went to the 0.5, and then it didn't even go to the 618. It just like barely, it just went right to that cloud, the end of the cloud, and just jumped. Strange. If you just played the cloud bounce only, no fibs at all, that was a decent idea from that. Son of a gun. I was too focused on the math. Theory was right, entry idea was wrong, and I did not pull the trigger. Technically, since it held that, this was too much of a jump. If it had held this slightly above, And that was your play, really, the super trend here on the 30-second. Anyone take that? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Making a lower high on the oscillator here, but I'm not interested in that. I was interested in this long and it left without me. Technically, it was just slightly below the equilibrium. It was enough to stop the equilibrium players out and not let the 618 players in. Super trend players were happy though, and if you had this cloud, you would have been happy if you just played the cloud and ignored the math. The money stack is abating. Is there some sort of fair value gap I'm missing over here? No, no. Nice. All right. So that bounced off the super trend quite nicely, and there was no real confluence on the 8 bar with the Renko. That's the thing with the Renko, is like, it reduces the noise, but it doesn't give you like accuracy. It's like noise reduction and levels. That's the best way I look at it for general purposes, but for entries, no, it's not. It doesn't have a scope of reference that's clear enough for me. This is super clear, and then that bounce off that. Getting the thinning on the 1 minute for a potential continuation. Now the angle is looking like this. Thick 30-second cloud here. That bounce off the cloud was decent. Here's where you printed some bearish divergence that's starting to form, but it looks like it's drifting quite nicely at an angle here to the upside. Like I said, it could come all the way back up to these levels, but that doesn't mean it's bullish. You could get rejected off there, or you could come up to here and reject off that one. That's the 236 level. We're coming back right now, as it looks like. Let's go to the ATOS real quick. We took 4 plays. One took a loss in the first trade, and then we took a win, and then one at break even, and then another one with a slight win into profit. And we did not hold that ultimate long idea, so we didn't stay for the entire journey up. We're back at the value area low at 989. There is some positive delta being generated to the term of buy side liquidity to the tune of 2K, and you peeled off 1,000 contracts there, so it now went to the sell side and knocked out 1,000 contracts there. So your session delta is 1,000 positive, which means they negated all of those sell imbalance with that rise up there. And so now you're positive in the buy side range. Okay. Let's go ahead and update this one last time. See what it's got. And so now you're coming back into the sell side. So you go up to go down, and you go down to go up. And now we're coming back into the positive delta, the buy side. You had this bearish divergence, and then the money started to fly away, fly away, fly away, cross down event on the 30-second, cascading to the 1 minute now, coming back to potentially kiss this cloud on the 1 minute and give you a 1 minute play potential. If there is a 1 minute play inbound, the cloud could be your guide. We're going to do another Fibonacci retracement on this entire thing and see if there is something to be had. Let's do a pocket area. The pocket zone will put you just below the cloud. You're coming back to the 30-second cloud. The 30-second cloud is curving here in a manner showing that this sell-off is abating the buy volume, but if you get another bounce off it, you could get another reaction. I don't like the ambiguity that's not in my favor here necessarily. There's too many things not lined up, but you do have the adaptive moving average and the average here on the 1 minute. Cross down event inbound. So in general, when this cloud shifts, it shifts to the other direction and stays there for some time. So seeing the shift up means that it could continue higher at some point. Getting a trend dot to the opposite side as we burst right through. Ideally, like this play here, that was the one. I hesitated on the money bag for whatever reason. Kicking myself about it now, but the money bag divergence going into the hour at the fair value gap reclamation at 14,924. That was it. That was all you needed to know. And then the cloud bounce that happened to be that was not a fib level, just the cloud bounce was another good play right there. If you're looking at the bearish divergence and wanting to enter off the cross down event, that was a good one too. Are you getting this bearish retest of the 30-second in this curvature here? We didn't quite come down to the cloud just yet for a Fibonacci level. What level are we at actually on this retrace? I think we're at the equilibrium range. Yeah, we went to an equilibrium level. So we're at the equilibrium of this impulse. So the equilibrium players that think it's going up right now are starting to make their play. Are they going to become B wave liquidity to a downside move for a deeper idea? Looks like they might. Breaking back above.
Word. Phrase.
So the money stack not stacking up here, not adding up, so not showing strength at all. Possible C wave down here to the cloud some more. So it goes up to go down, and goes down to go up. Let me just switch out of the equilibrium mode because I'm not really trying to play the equilibrium now. Let's go to the pocket. Pocket would take you there to 48-ish. Just below the cloud on the 1 minute. Surprisingly, getting a second hit on the equilibrium zone. The second hits are those second hit plays. If it does bounce out on the second hit, that is where you find that minimal drawdown level if it does start to rev up at that point. But not seeing anything stack up on the 30-second just yet. And once again, in the wise words of Mr. Payton, trash consolidation equals B wave into C. Cloud oddly picked up here instead of thinning. That's strange. Kind of picked up as people buy in here. Wasn't the same thinning idea here, right? You're still ultimately getting more upside momentum on the 1 minute. As the 1 minute cloud comes, you're getting a reaction off of that. Went up to that cloud. They were doing like a double bearish retest of the cloud. That's funny. Stop out the shorts and then go in the short direction. I love you. It's so hilarious. The complexities, man. See that angle, and then it went up to that too. Oh man, hilarious. It's like a freaking like complex entity that's meant to just play with the minds of everyone. But ultimately you can have this Cassandra complex where you're right. Bouncing off of the 1 minute cloud now. Are you going to go to a level, or are you going to break and just do what you did here and not mess with the math? Son of a gun. Now you're starting to get that thinning up here on this 30-second for whatever reason. Delayed bounce off the 1 minute cloud. Buy. Hey, I can't tell you what to do, Rockmut. I'm sorry. Disclaimer up above. But this is just entertainment. But thank you for stopping in. As I said, B consolidation equals trash. Trash consolidation equals B wave into C. We have not seen the C just yet, so I'm not really keen on a long myself. You gotta do you. Ultimately, we're seeing the trend cloud thin here, and yeah, looks like it's just chopping around. This is what we call the idiot box. The idiot box, because the idiots play in this box. I'm not going to be an idiot, so I'm not playing in the box. I'm just watching the box. I want the liquidity grab divergence. So there was technically slight divergence here on the money flow, and you got the cross-up event on the 30-second. 1 minute cloud is holding. Cloud is coming up to the price action, and the price action is not going down to it. You keep chopping around on this 30-second cloud. No money stacks coming onto the table whatsoever. It's just kind of chop, chop, chop suey. Hi. Thanks for stopping in, one. Chop suey. Do we make it down into the golden pocket of this retrace and see some liquidity grab from this B? That their inducement of the B consolidation. Let's go see what the contract imbalance looks like. This is also in the description. This is the ATAS platform. You can sign up for a 14-day free trial. We are seeing a lot of buy side enter here. To me, that is kind of indicative of using that to go to the sell side. I'd rather see sell side at a long idea myself. So these guys wanting it to go up, these buyers of longs in the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 minutes, we are positive 2K on the contracts. So for the delta, could rip up here. We are ripping up. So you got that equilibrium bounce after all. You got the equilibrium bounce. That was technically your second equilibrium bounce. So it was a double bottom. There was no C leg. Oh well. Congrats if you took that play. There you go, hidden bullish on the money flow here. So we are making a higher low on the price action and a lower low on Optima here, with the money stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, stacking up. And then you had this bullish divergence. I didn't see it, but it was there. If you had the keen eye, good on you. Momentum on your side now, getting the money stacks appearing on the 30-second. We're coming back up here to the 15K region. Let's go ahead and throw this off. Bounced off of the super trends on the 16 bar, off the 200. So the 50 SMA here was the play on the 16. And we came back into that fair value gap range that we reclaimed before up here. The previous level, the completion of that would be at 26, and the bearish trend-based fib level at 39. So the 1 minute cloud had you for the win on that. But the money bag, I didn't see it. And on the hidden bullish play here, hidden bullish. So what did we get into here? What did we take out? $3,000 positive contracts. We're back up to VWAP. Bunch of buy side taken out above VWAP there. Getting the money flying away back above the range here. Still ultimately holding these bubbles to the upside, this shifting of the cloud insinuating continuation. I'm going to take a brief look at the 4 minute, see what the 4 minute is doing. So the 4 minute basically came out from under this range, bounced off the equilibrium twice, and now we're bouncing back up above this cloud on the 4 minute with a conviction candle closing up above this region. So in the moment, as you're streaming, you know, the need to the urge or the need to be right and not like becomes a hesitation. You know, we are our own worst enemies. I can outline things that actually occur in the moment, like this bullish divergence down here, this money bag, and we took it and then get stopped out into profit, but then don't hold because we took a bad trade in the opening chop zone, but ultimately, you know, 3 for 4. But the first one was a 50 tick loss, so we made back about 30 ticks of the 50. Ultimately negative for the day, but positive in the number of trades. We sized down after the first loss to be transparent. Getting a money flow divergence here that burned off here at the range high, and then that is getting the money flying away. You're in the overbought region of this optima level. We're going to just keep talking about what we see, observations of Nasdaq. Cross down event of the baselines here. Curvature of the cloud on the 1 minute starting to suggest some sort of slight abatement. Money flying away. If this is going to be bullish, then it's just going to make a channel that continues up. We don't need to draw those channels because we have the price channels built in, but you're getting some abatement saying careful on the longs here with the do not enter and the cascading of the baseline, like river water flowing down a mountain. So that curvature of the 1 minute proved to be fortuitous. You can see that insinuation here. We were waiting for that retracement back to the cloud, and it managed to bounce off that 0.5 equilibrium level. And that was your low-hanging fruit trade. I wasn't, I was kind of in my own head about it. Cross down on the 1 minute. Boom. Rakhmat. Naimov. It's a cool name. Rakhmat. I mean, the baselines for the last 3 times on the 30-second have been pretty fire. The baseline crossovers. The 1 minute has been later. $30-second spin your like sniper entry level. So we're approaching the end of the hour here. Got about less than 15 minutes where we will bid you adieu. It's nice to hear when people say they took it for something. Means that there's some value to be had by watching, and I'm glad to be that guy who provides that value. Back at the cloud, and the channel average on the 1 minute beneath the average, and the baselines are saying no, 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 we still got you at hello, and they're suppressing the price action here. Money stacks did abate, but still started to continue on the 1 minute here. Money stack, money stack, money stack. Broke the super trend right there on the 30-second. Problem is I have a big monitor, but I don't want to use the real estate that I have across all these different things. So let's see. By the time I'm finished looking at this, I missed something on Momentum Master. All right, so getting some sell side. We're still positive 3K in the buy side, so they're currently targeting the buy side. So looking for a continuation entry idea would be ideal if we see some sells getting hit. And ultimately, this is just your channel here. You could use a linear regression trend tool and just do 2 clicks and see it like that. happens to come back to the super trend here on the 1 minute, picking up some momentum here for the money flying away here. Starting to get some hidden bullish on the money flow and whatnot. I'm too zoomed out. Let me zoom in a little bit. Holding the adaptive, let's go to the, we're coming back for that pullback to the 50 SMA slash 200 on the 8 bar. Neutral now on the 32 bar. Money flow coming beneath the RSI, starting to get some money stack potential going. Starting to reclaim one of the baselines here on the 32nd, starting to allude to that idea. Reclaim the adaptive moving average, potentially speaking. Super trend, bullish super trend on the 1 minute, still in effect at 168, or sorry, 968. Now it's attempting to break it. If it cannot hold that level where it's at right now, then basically the super trend is finito on the 1 minute. 28 seconds for that to be finito. It looks like it will be, unless it gets bought back here. No money stacks entering just of yet. Came back to the range that we broke out from about 10-20 minutes ago. Hold the super trend in that last 15 seconds. Starting to get a stack on the 32nd. Cross-up event, potentially speaking. Cloud is thinning on the 1 minute here. Also thinning on the 32nd. Once again, the crossover event of the 30-second was not to be ignored. It did give you some decent points there. Every crossover thus far during this open, pretty much, except for the first one here prior to the hourly. This cross down played out. This cross up was a little bit late, but it played out. This one played out, this one played out, this one played out, and now this one is playing out. Coming back to that cloud kiss potential for a bearish ABC down, perhaps. Wicking on the 1 minute here, off that cloud on the 30-second. I was so close to hitting the button too. It's just like, what is with the hesitation today? Like, come on, man. Oh, there you go. That's why. Getting that cloud kiss on the 1 minute, just can't close beneath it. Just playing the wick-wacky game right now. Ultimately, this is just a big idiot box thus far, but you had some nice plays within the crossover events of Momentum Master. Even if I'm able to just narrate and it provides you with value, I'm happy. That's my vision, my dream, my goal. All right, so you're getting a cross-up event on the 1 minute if it holds this cloud. Essentially chopping it up. Cloud is insinuating downside. You know what? I'm gonna just do it. No hesitation. That's the 5th one for the night. And we'll just see what it does. So, do you rip down here below or not? That is the question. You're technically beneath the consolidation you created in those 2 minutes, and the cloud is facing down in this curvature manner. You know, you closed the candle beneath the cloud, so that's what I was happy and waiting to see. That is why I entered short. Money's flying away now. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it break beneath this trend dot and start to create some bearish sentiment and end the stream with a solid victory. Cross down event of the baselines. The baselines have been fired this stream, so we're gonna keep that. I think I took profit there automatically. Yes, we did. We took it on 3 contracts. 50 ticks up, 60 ticks. Now we are positive. Stop loss 30 ticks into profit. It's all automated. I don't need to think about it. That's the way to be. And now we are green for the day, I think, or break even basically. If it keeps running, we'll be good, even better, because it'll move more into profit. But we might just close it here. I don't know. I'll just let the stop loss do its thing. All right, well, success. So that was 5 trades for the night. I have this little counter thing. I can obviously look it up in the trade performance later, but I just like to do that. And then, yeah, we also have the trade alerts to the Discord. I review them later too. Well, that was a nice happy ending to the downside with his now up 100 ticks. Let's see, did we negate all of the losses? We did. Good. I'm gonna just let it do its thing. It's gonna secure 60 ticks either way. It's gonna knock me out there. Okay, victory. And the hour is closed. And the money flying away stopped. So that would have been your perfect exit too. And that was, you know, 60 ticks is not to be denied, you know. Just play it carefully, you know, and don't let it come back in your face with hope and whatever. And then if it goes and rips down, don't beat yourself up about it, you know. It's a psychological warfare of trading and taking the low-hanging fruit when they present. And so this curvature of the cloud, I'll just finish with this. So the curvature of the cloud here and the rejection, I was watching it reject and I was considering pulling the trigger, but then when I saw this 1 minute close above it, I was like, are we getting a fake out? Once this thing closed beneath it, that was like, okay, I'll take it. And then I took that for that 60 ticks down. Is it going to continue lower? I have no idea. I don't know the future, so this could be creating some bullish divergence right here. It looks like it might be, so I don't know. I'll be looking at it outside of the stream now because we are at the end of the hour, 2 hours streaming. Hopefully you caught some nice moves or a single move, or you're in the green and you could just be happy about life in general. So thank you very much for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day. We'll do the same, bringing the fire, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.